Welcome to Storytime with Pathways for Parents. I'm Cindy Milner, the program coordinator. Today we are introducing our first author to children reading books, Jamie McCallick. Jamie is the author of nearly 40 children's books, including the acclaimed Joe and Sparky series. Joe and Sparky Go to School, Joe and Sparky Get New Wheels, and Joe and Sparky Superstars. And soon she will have a new book, Joe and Sparky
Party Animals.
Party Animals.
Yep.
Thanks. They were illustrated by Frank Remkowitz. She's adapted many movies and TV shows, such as the popular PBS Kids Martha Speak chapter books for her book series. Jamie was born in Springfield, Massachusetts, and grew up in the same neighborhood that Dr. Seuss once lived. She now resides in Barrington, Rhode Island, with her husband and her 2 boys. Like Joe Giraffe, she does not have super driving skills, is what she says. I think that's on the book flap of one of the books.
Right, yes.
And
that's
it
probably
took
true.
you almost 2 hours to get here from Rhode Island today.
It did.
Right? Yeah. So
I tend to get lost.
I was reading that thinking, how come she got here? So in your books, there have been some reviews, and this is one of the reviews that was written. She says, written in 4 accessible chapters, these books are perfect for the newly independent reader and make a fine bridge from Amelia Bedelia to Ramona. Limited but lively vocabulary, a large font, and carefully placed illustrations, all in humorous, high-interest package, will make this a hit for the family. This was from the Horn Books review.
Correct.
Very good.
Yep. Thank you.
So you've also participated in one of 52 great, your book is one of 52 great reads at the 2015 National Book Festival.
Right.
Wow.
I just heard that. Yeah.
That's great. Yep. And it was also an Amazon Best Book of the Year. Mm-hmm. So the books can be purchased at Amazon. Is
they
that correct?
Could, yes.
Very nice. And a Sybil's finalist. Sybil's is a blog for authors, you were saying?
It's the award given by children's book bloggers.
Okay.
So Joe and Sparky Go to School was a finalist for that.
Wow, that's terrific.
Thanks.
And so tell me a little bit about what you hope children get when they hear your book read aloud or they read your books.
For me, it's most important that kids enjoy books, mm-hmm. And I hope to make kids laugh when they read my books and just have a good time and enjoy reading. So that comes first before any message. But all of my books do have a subtle message incorporated. And mostly they're about friendship. They're about 2 good friends, mm-hmm. Joe Giraffe and Sparky Turtle.
Very good. Well, I can't wait to see the children when they listen to your story and the story that you're telling them. They'll be in soon.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for sharing reading with me at Pathways for Parents. This is our first program. We're going to start a reading program that will be aired on our television station. And I invited a special guest. She's an author. Do you know what an author is?
Yeah.
What's an author?
Author is that makes books.
Yeah.
That illustrates and makes the pictures.
Yep, that's the illustrator. And the author is the person that writes the story. Wow. So Miss McCallick wrote these stories, and her books are on the table right behind her. Aren't those great? I think you've seen one of them before. Joseph, can you say good morning to Miss McCallick?
Good morning.
Have you read one of her books before?
I think I already have one at home.
You do, because I know that you've met her before, huh? I know. How about Maya? How are you? Good. Have you met Miss McCallick before? No? Well, I'm so glad you're here. And your brother Max. Hi, Max. How are you? Good. And Finn. Finn is Miss McCallick's son. So he knows all about authors. Huh? And Noelle. Hi, Noelle.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today. So glad you came. So Miss McCallick is going to read to us a book that she wrote about school, about going to school. There are all different kinds of books. And I chose this one today for her to read because I think it really kind of helps us get used to going to school. And she has a really different take on school. It's not like, she really put a lot of, what do I want to say, creativity into her writing of this book. And after she's done, I want you to tell me which is the best part. Okay? All right, So let's start.
Sure. Well, how many of you are going to school this year or already started school? One. How about you,
I'm going to
Joseph?
school.
Are you in school?
Not yet. I'm
Soon?
just starting school next week.
Okay, great. Well, this is a story about a giraffe named Joe who loves adventures and getting in trouble, and his best friend named Sparky the turtle who'd rather stay home and just hide in his shell and not go anywhere. So,
There's a turtles in here too.
in there too, yeah? Can you imagine if a giraffe and turtle went to your school for the day? What would happen? That's what I imagine what would happen. So that's how this book came about. And I'm going to read you chapter 3, but I'll walk you through the beginning of the book so you can get a little bit of information about how it starts. So this is Joe and Sparky at their cageless zoo where they live.
You didn't read the title.
You're right. I did not read the title. This is called Joe and Sparky Go to School by me, Jamie McCallick, and illustrated by Frank Remkowitz. Chapter 1, the bus ride. So, in Safariland, the famous cageless zoo, a turtle hid in his shell. Not far away, a giraffe stretched his neck to see the world. And what did they see?
People.
Yeah, people, yeah.
A little class.
A class on a field trip, and they've never seen a bus before. So they go to check it out, and they take a closer look, and Joe and Sparky stick their neck right in the window. And the kids scream, ah! Ah, yelled the short people. That's what they call the kids, noisy short people. Ah, yelled Sparky. He hid in his shell. The short people laughed. Warm rock, Sparky squeaked. Now! But we have not seen the whole bus yet, said Joe. And Sparky says, I have seen enough. He steps off Joe's head. Joe, you bring me back to the pond. Okay, Sparky, just one more minute. Vroom! The bus took off. And who's on top of the bus?
Sparky.
Sparky's still on the bus. I'm still on the bus, Sparky cried. Joe watched Sparky grow smaller and smaller until he looked like a pea. Slow down, bus, yelled Sparky. Safety first. And that is how Joe and Sparky rode the bus to school. So in chapter 2, they get off the bus, and Sparky says, where are we? I do not know, said Joe. The noisy short people got off the bus. They lined up in front of a lady wearing thick glasses. Joe and Sparky did too. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, said the lady. Did everyone enjoy our field trip to Safariland? Yes, Miss Hootie, said the class. As they answered, Miss Hootie cleaned her glasses, but oops! What happened?
She dropped them.
She dropped them, and oops!
She stepped on
She
them.
stepped on them. Crunch! Oh dear, said Miss Hootie, putting on her crooked, cracked glasses. She squinted at Joe. Is that you, Timmy? She said. I thought you were absent today. That's not Timmy, said a boy. That's a giraffe. Miss Hootie looked closer. Timmy, you're getting taller every day. And my, what a fun green hat. Is that a hat?
No.
No, that hat is a turtle, said a girl. Nonsense, said Miss Hootie. That is a hat if I ever saw one. You cannot pull one over on Miss Hootie here. Now follow me. We still have half the school day left. So Joe and Sparky follow Miss Hootie and the other kids into the classroom. And they sit around at story time just like you would at your classrooms. And Miss Hootie says, simmer down. Remember, good work gets a star. She points to a sign. B-A-S-T-A-R. S, solve problems. T, try your best. A, always be kind. And R, raise your hand. But Joe is very loud during story hour. Do you think he gets a star?
No.
No, but who gets a star for being nice and quiet?
Sparky.
Sparky. So Miss Hootie gave Sparky a star. Good listening, ears, she said. Ears, grumbled Joe. What ears? He wished he had a star too. I'm going to read you chapter 3 called The Magic Pond. Do you think Joe will get a star during this chapter? No, we'll see. Math time, sang Miss Hootie. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, put your bottoms in your seat. I'm beginning to wish I had hands, Joe said to Sparky. What is math? Sparky asked. It must be the dance they just did, said Joe. I will do the math too. You guys all do the math? Clap, clap, stomp, stomp. Crash! What happened when Joe put his bottom in his seat? Uh-oh. Joe broke his chair. Sparky hid in his shell. Math is very dangerous. Joe jumped up. Okay, said Miss Hootie, everyone find a buddy. You will be my buddy, Joe said to Sparky. I will work hard. I will get a star. Miss Hootie gave each pair of buddies some peas to count. Oh, I see, Sparky said to Joe. Math is not a dance. Math is food. Joe and Sparky ate 1, 2, can you count with me? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 peas. I am learning, Joe said Sparky. I'm learning that the food is good here. Miss Hootie checked on them. How many peas do you have altogether? Burp, went Joe. Oh dear, said Miss Hootie. No eating the math work, please. Do you think Joe got a star?
No.
Let's see, nope, poor Joe. Bathroom break, said Miss Hootie. Everyone follow me to the restrooms. Oh, said Sparky, a restroom sounds like a wonderful place. After lunch, I like to rest. Who knows what a restroom is?
A restroom is when you can go a bathroom.
A bathroom, right. But I guess if you're a giraffe and a turtle, you wouldn't know that. Yes, said Joe, we can nap there. Everyone followed Miss Hootie down the hall to 2 doors. Joe and Sparky looked at the pictures on the doors. Where are the other doors? Asked Joe. You see a giraffe or a turtle door?
No. No.
No. I do not see a room for giraffes, said Joe. I don't see one for turtles either, said Sparky. They walked into the boys' room. Well, said Joe, this is not what I expected. Sparky looked confused. We cannot nap here. Where is the pond? Where are the warm rocks? This is not the best restroom, Joe agreed. Sparky opened a door. Oh, here is a tiny pond. What is this? Asked Joe, pressing a button. What sound does it make when you flush the toilet? Good, that's what they heard. Whoosh! Sparky gasped. The water was whirling away. Oh no, he cried. Joe, what have you done? You made the pond disappear. Joe looked down. He looked worried. He looked like he might cry. Wait, Joe, said Sparky. The pond! It's coming back again! Joe and Sparky whooped with joy. Do you know what we have learned, Sparky asked Joe. What, Joe? That schools have a magic pond, said Joe. Joe and Sparky made the magic pond come and go, come and go. Whoosh! Whoosh! Good job. Then Sparky took a shower. Where's he taking a shower? You see that? The sink. And Joe did his hair, and they tried on a long white scarf.
There's no scarf, that's toilet paper.
I know, they were very silly. We look great, said Joe. Outside, the class was waiting for them. Did you wash your hands? Asked Miss Hootie. Joe shook his head. I do not have hands, he whispered to Sparky. Miss Hootie frowned. Please go wash your hands. Do you think Joe got a star?
No.
No? Do you think he'll get a star in the last chapter?
No. I mean, yes.
We'll find out. So for the rest of the day, this is chapter 4, who is a STAR? For the rest of the day, Joe tried his best to get a star. He tried while feeding Rudy, the class pet. And he tried at music and during a stretching break.
Ha.
But to Joe's surprise, he had no luck. But Sparky was covered in stars. I do not believe it, said Sparky. I've learned a lot. I learned that I love school. Said Joe. Art time, sang Miss Hootie. Then we will go home. Oh, no, said Joe. I still don't have a star. I'm almost out of time. Paint something you love, Miss Hootie told the class. So Sparky painted a picture, and Joe painted
Sparky.
Sparky. Oh, mercy, said Miss Hootie. Do not paint your friends, please. Joe sighed. That was my last chance. Now I'll never get a star. But Sparky has a little surprise for him. What did he paint for Joe?
A star.
He did. For his best friend, he said, you are a STAR. You solved a problem when you got me off the bus. You tried your best to listen to the story. You're always kind to me, and you would raise your hand if you had one. Joe proudly hung the star around his neck. And then they go home, and the teacher says, good work today. So they line up, they go home, and Joe says, Sparky says, school is cool. Next time, said Joe, I will bring my pet worm Wiggy for show and tell. Joe dropped Sparky off at his pond. Thank you for my star, said Joe. On a nice warm rock, Sparky hid in his shell. Shh, fell asleep. And not far away, Joe stretched his neck to see the world and look for his next adventure. The end.
When will you read mine?
I love.
Let's ask Miss Michaela a couple questions.
Sure.
Right? So I love that book. Is
Thank
that your
you.
first book, or was that?
No, this is the third book in the Joe and Sparky series. So
Oh.
that was the first one, Get New Wheels, and Joe and Sparky Superstars. This is the second one. And there's a new one coming out called Joe and Sparky Party Animals, where Joe throws a surprise party for his pet worm Wiggy, who we don't know if he's real or not, and we find out in book 4.
So she wrote 4 books, and she has a couple other books that she. How do you describe that when you with these other books that you shared with me today?
Sure. Well, sometimes I come up with the book ideas on my own, like these, and then sometimes publishers approach me and ask me to adapt books that are originally TV shows or movies. So, for example, The Martha Speaks.
Do you know that one?
Do you know this show from PBS Kids?
Yeah.
So I watch the cartoons and write all the chapter books for this series, and that's really fun. And then
So sometimes, I think you guys in school, you get parts of a story that the teachers give you, right? They'll tell you a little part of a story, and then you have to put in what your own ideas are.
like Joseph wrote that great story there.
That's right. Can you hold that up? Come on over here and sit next to me for a minute. Ready? Oh, be careful. You've got Joe all torn up here. Let's see. So last time Miss McCallick came, she gave you this little project to do, right? And you took it
We're
home.
about to add this chapter too.
You were about to add a
Oh,
chapter
on the arm?
back.
Yeah,
So-
those are on.
Joseph,
Wow.
tell me, you wrote a chapter 1 on the back of him, right?
Yeah, this is all chapter 1.
Very nice. Tell me where chapter 2. Whoop,
Chapter 2 is down here.
chapter 2 is down there.
And here's chapter 3.
Chapter 3 is on the arm. Perfect. And this is the beginning. This is how she got you started, right?
Yeah.
Reading new.
This one.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's impressive.
Thank you for sharing this with us.
I wanted someone to actually read it.
Okay, well, we'll take a look at that in a couple minutes. How's that? Thanks for sharing. Very nice. Anybody else have a question? Noelle.
How do you come up with the idea?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think story ideas are all around us if we're really paying attention, and you never know where an idea will come from. So I always keep a little notebook to write down the ideas I come across. So one time I visited a real cageless zoo in Florida, and that's how that story came about, Joe and Sparky Get New Wheels. This one is about a TV talent show, Joe and Sparky Superstars. And I was watching a lot of this show called American Idol. Do you know that show at all?
No.
It's a singing competition on TV. It's not on anymore. So that kind of sparked an idea for what if Joe and Sparky were on a show like that? And then for Joe and Sparky Go to School, I've been visiting a lot of schools and meeting kids like you. And as I was talking to the kids, I kind of imagined Joe and Sparky sitting with you right now. And I wondered, what would happen if Joe and Sparky went to school with you guys all day? And what kind of trouble would they get into? So I think story ideas are everywhere. You could start with writing about what you love, like think about what you love to do, or maybe a trip you went on, or something you want to learn more about.
We just went to Canada.
There you go. Could write about that.
So what's your favorite part about your mom writing, then?
That I could tell about writing the book.
You do? You get to help out writing books?
The fourth Joe and Sparky book, my oldest son came up with the title, Joe and Sparky Party Animals, and Finn came up with a lot of really funny scenes.
Great.
So yeah, they came up with they wanted me to write a restroom scene, so that's how that ended up in there.
Great. You got some great inspiration
Right.
there. Yep. What do you think, Maya? What's your favorite part of Miss McCallick's book?
I don't know.
No? You don't know? Do you like art? What do you think when Joe painted Sparky? Was that silly? Yeah. When we go to school, we don't paint our friends, right? We don't paint our friends.
We paint a picture
Yeah.
Right.
on a piece of paper.
On the paper, yeah. Max, did you have any things to think about what you liked? Do you like the pictures or the story? When you read a book, what do you like best about reading?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's all right, because you know what? There's probably lots of ideas going around, and picking one is hard. Very nice. Anybody else? That's terrific. So, I just wanted to thank you for coming today and
thank you.
sharing
Thanks for
our
being such
stories
good
with us.
listeners.
Yeah. You know what? Stories can help us through transition. Do you know what a transition is? That's a big word that they use a lot at school. Do you have any idea what that means? So this Miss McCallick's book kind of helped us understand a little bit about school, what happens. So they get in the classroom and they do math, and I love your acronym for the STAR. Say it again.
STAR. That's actually a real program at my son Finn's school.
Oh, nice.
Where they get stars for good behavior, star stickers all day.
And
And that's right where,
what's
like I
the
said,
S?
ideas are everywhere, so that's where that came from.
What's the S?
Solve problems.
Solve problems.
Yep.
And the T?
Try your best.
Try your best. What comes next? The A. What's A?
A is always be kind. I had to think about that.
And the R.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. I saw you doing that while you were here. Very nice. You might get a star.
And what about my book?
Oh, yep. Come up here and read it.
I do.
You want to read it or want me to read it?
I want to do this.
Perfect. So let me, if I,
It starts on the outside.
yes, I will have to put my eyes on. Ready? Let's see. So it starts, tell me where. This here? Okay. Reaching new heights in kindergarten. I want to learn how to read. The giraffe put his neck down. The giraffe put his neck down the toilet to get a drink. That is funny. And this is your illustration of it, right?
I didn't know
This,
I was about to make something, but then I got off track.
okay. So tell me where chapter 2 is. Where's chapter 1? Sorry.
It's on the back.
There we go. Now you got me straightened out. Then he fell into the toilet and he got sucked into the sewer pipe. Oh no.
Wow.
Then he went into the ocean and he got wet. He got sucked by the current and went all the way to Ireland. Wow, that's pretty far away. Then a little boy saw him and rescued him. The little boy and his pet turtle took care of the giraffe. Very nice. Chapter 2. Then the little boy left them alone one day. The police came over and got the turtle and the giraffe and put them in jail. Oh my. Then a school bus came and got them out of jail. The school bus rode away? Rode in the sewer. My. What happens next? Chapter 3. They got back from the sewer and then went on a field trip to the science museum. The giraffe got too close to one of the exhibits and he fell into the water. Boy, he has a thing with water. Then the little boy found him and rescued him again. Okay, I'm getting this. Chapter 4. To be
Here.
continued, right? Joseph, thank
That's
you.
excellent.
Thank you. Can we give him a hand?
Are you going to be an author when you grow up? That was
I don't
so
know.
good. I'm
You got a
impressed.
long way to go, but you're off to a good start.
Yeah,
Yes.
chapters and everything.
Do you write books? Do you write books? Do you tell stories?
Sometimes the teacher says, try making a book, and I can't really think of anything.
Yeah, you can't really think of anything. Yeah, I think, Joseph, what you did is you heard Miss McCallick's story, and you followed her theme, but you took the giraffes on a wild, adventure someplace else. So that's one way of starting a story. How about Maya? Do you tell stories? You do? Very good. And does mom or dad write them down for you?
I write myself.
You write them yourself. Very nice. Very good. Yep. And do you help your brother read stories? You do? That's great. Very good. Well, guess what? Thanks so much for coming. Did you like the studio?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool being in here, huh? I know. Very nice. Well, thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thanks for coming. Next month, I might ask you back. You're so good. If moms and dads would like you to come back and are able to bring you back, we'll schedule a time that we can do more readings with authors. That would be great. Well, all right, you can head back to your parents. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about transitions. Welcome back to Pathways for Parents, a discussion on transitions. Some of our transitions with children start from birth, really from, leaving the crib and going to a parent, or from a parent to a neighbor, from a neighbor to a play date or to school, library. Many transitions. Going to a dentist is a transition. I have brought some books here today to demonstrate some good books that help transition with children. So Jamie, transitions are tough for kids, and books help ease that transition, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So when we prepare them ahead of time by reading a story that they might encounter, for instance, I know one of the first ones that was read to me was going to the dentist, because I was afraid, so we read the Critter books about, Critter going to the dentist.
Right.
And it gave me a little sense of reference. So tell me what you think about transitional books.
Yeah, I think they're important. They're a great way to reassure children. If you get a funny book, the humor sort of lightens the situation, and they can relate to characters who are just like them, going through the same problem, and see how it all turns out in the end. So I think they're a great resource for any sort of transition.
Right, exactly. The transition books can be either cartoon character, like this First Day Jitters book, right? It can be cartoon characters, not real, animated, or they could be more lifelike, like this New Baby book, New Baby in Your House.
Right, yes.
This is a great book when you're talking to your 2 or 3-year-old about having a new brother or sister coming. So these are transition books. Another one is certainly when we talk about going to school and that transition of having to share. Great book here, Share and Take Turns. It's a teaching moment, but yet it gives you a vocabulary to use with your kids. The other one that I love, well, and here's another one about Share and Take Turns. Hands are not for hitting. That teaches children about, what to do with your hands instead of hitting when that frustration comes out.
Right.
So they're for dressing and undressing, for building. I think these are great books. Nice, simple language, but the message is clear. Sometimes I like to read 10 minutes till bedtime.
I love that one.
10 minutes till bedtime. It has lots of things in this. That counting is one of the things that they really promote, so counting. And we all know, we've all said it, 10 minutes to bedtime.
Yes.
You only have 10 minutes. Let's go, get everything done. I love that. And one that I love for parents is a book called A Mouse Told His Mother. Have you ever seen this book?
I have.
So this is a transition for a parent, I think. This is how we change our thoughts about helping a child get to bed, because children are never ready. They always want to do one more thing. And this story, I'm going to read this one because I think it's just a beautiful story, but it helps us transition our parent thought into, I get it now, they have one more thing to do. So it's A Mouse Told His Mother by Bethany Roberts, illustrated by Mary Jane Began.
Who lives in my town?
Is that
coincidentally.
right?
Yes.
That's very funny. Yep. A Mouse Told His Mother. The illustrations are beautiful in this book. I love what she wrote here too. To my parents who believed I could be anything I wanted to be. A mouse told his mother, I'm going on a trip. It's bedtime, said his mother. So here's the mouse and his mother in his bedroom, and he's got this wild imagination. A mouse told his mother, I'm going to the moon. Take your toothbrush, said his mother. So as she's playing along with him, I think she's playing along with his story, right? So here's his astronaut self looking in the mirror, brushing his teeth. She's incorporating the bedtime routine. A mouse told his mother, I am off to catch a crocodile. Don't forget to wash your feet, said his mother. He's in this bathtub. A mouse told his mother, I will dive for pirate treasure. You better be bringing a towel, said his mother. He's still in the bathtub, but she's preparing him for the next step. A mouse told his mother, I will climb up snow-capped mountains, wear warm pajamas, said his mother. A mouse told his mother, I will hop into an airplane and fly around the world. Hop right into bed now, said his mother. And what you notice in this picture I love is that this is his bed quilt. I think that's a great thing to point out when you're talking to the kids. A mouse told his mother, I will ride a bucking bronco. Here's your pillow, said his mother. A mouse told his mother, I'll cross the burning desert sands. How about a glass of water? Asked his mother. Now that's a typical ask from a child going to bed.
Heard that one.
You've heard that one before. Yep. A mouse told his mother, I'll drive dog sleds through a blizzard. You may need an extra blanket, said his mother. A mouse told his mother, I'll explore a spooky cave. Lights out now, said his mother. Here he is under the blankets. A mouse told his mother, I'll tame bears in a circus. Here's a bear hug, said his mother. A mouse told his mother, I will sail where the wind blows. Blow me a kiss, said his mother. Here he is blowing her a kiss. A mouse told his mother, I will come back home again. Sweet dreams, said his mother. And good night. It's a sweet book.
Very clever.
Very clever, not so many words on a page, and terrific for transitions to kind of wind the kids down and hear that whole routine of going to bed. The last ones I think are, here's a Rockabye baby book. We hand these out at our Welcome Baby programs. And this is a wonderful transition book to help, again, transition the parent. So this book has a rhyme or riddle on the page. And yet, so you're reading this to your infant or your toddler. And here is a little bit of a parent, kind of helping the parent understand reading with children. Again, it's wonderfully illustrated specifically for the very young. infants and toddlers. Love the pictures of the dad reading a book to the infant. And we give these out at our Pathways for Parents Welcome Baby program. We do a Welcome Baby program. Did you know that we did a Welcome Baby
No.
program for first-time parents of infants birth to 12 months?
Oh, how nice.
And then we do a Toddle On group, which is for the toddlers of those that outgrow the Welcome Baby, and they're 12 to 24 months. And we separated it into two groups because the toddlers were now walking
Right.
and the babies are on the floor. Well, it created a little danger zone there.
I can imagine.
So we split them apart. But all the programs Pathways for Parents provide is really about parent education and yet engaging kids. So here's some bedtime storybooks. And the last one, I saved this one for last because it's a teaching. Reading is a teaching tool as well. And this one is all about values. We can look for these books in our library. They're very great. So transitions are tough for kids, but they don't have to be made tough. We can work it through all of our books, through
Right.
books.
And there's so many to choose from.
There are so many to choose from. I came with a bag today and I had to leave some home because I thought this is way too many, just a few. So for more information about Pathways for Parents or any of our programs, feel free to look us up, pathwaysforparents.org, or call the office at 583-3527. We'll see you next time.